Maggie, she knows the kings are friends. Maggie declines to dance. She won't work in a factory, though parents think she should. She's inclined academically, and so far it's so. Maggie won't be a teenage bride. Maggie against the tide, she accepts the adversity. She always knew she could to attend university, and so far it's so. Maggie, so far, so far, so good. Maggie, so far, so far, so good. Maggie.
Yes. This is what they find, is why they spend so much money on them. No, you see, you've got to keep working away at the advertising. That's the secret of it. Constantly putting your name before the public.
So in the end, they cave in?
Well, at least when they need a plumber, McKinley and Campbell's the name that springs to mind.
Another piece of pie, Maggie.
Oh, no thanks, I couldn't. It was delicious, though.
Well, Maggie and I clear.
There's no hurry.
Now, about this advertising.
Well, we did give out leaflets.
How many?
About 100 or so.
It should have been more like 1,000.
You've still got your duplicator up in the attic, haven't you, Peter?
Yes, I think so.
Oh, don't tell me we're going to spend the whole weekend.
Not. Let's drop the subject. I'm beginning to get a real plumbing bore. I dream about blocked sinks at night and taps that won't turn off.
But certainly you must do the leaflets while you're here, Maggie.
Oh,
It's
yes.
understandable that she's anxious.
I'll help you do the leaflets, Maggie.
I'll help, Maggie. I'm sure you've got work to do, James.
Shall I go make the coffee?
Oh, all right. You are restless.
Do you want a hand?
Yeah, sure. I start work at the end of the month.
Told your mother yet?
I'm going to when we take the coffee up.
Looks like being an interesting weekend.
And I've asked Alexander for tea on Sunday, while you're here.
I never thought I'd be brought in to help keep the peace. Should we get a job at United Nations next?
Alexander likes you.
It's good. Sugar. So, you've actually got the ring.
I'll show it to you later.
And when are you telling your mother that piece of news?
One thing at a time, don't you think?
I sure do.
You've actually accepted this job.
I'm 17, Mother.
What is the establishment called?
Him and her. It's unisex.
I see.
Katrina, we had not decided.
I had. It's my life, isn't it?
She's right, Mother.
We'll discuss this later.
There's nothing more to discuss as far as I'm concerned. You can't stop me. I'm old enough to leave school. And I've left.
Left?
Yesterday.
But you can't just leave.
Why not? I went up and told the head.
And what did she say?
She said all things considered, since I wasn't particularly academic.
You could have been if you tried.
Do you ever listen to what anyone else has to say?
I'm sorry about this, Maggie.
Don't apologise. I'm used to...
I think I'm taking Maggie for a walk.
What a gorgeous summer evening. So peaceful. You'd never think in the middle of the city, would you?
It's not going to be very peaceful in our house this weekend, by the looks of things.
I wouldn't worry about that. Not on my behalf. It's never exactly peaceful in my house either.
Should we sit? Maggie?
Mm-hmm.
You know that guy Mike?
Oh, I can forget him.
Can I?
Yes.
Good. Oh, I wish we didn't have 40 miles between us. Wish I could see you every day.
Sometimes it's more exciting not seeing someone every day. Well, it's more of a treat when you do meet, isn't it?
I must be greedy then. I'd like to have treats every day. Ah, there goes Katrina to meet the fair Alexander.
You're It's nice. It suits your hand.
He didn't have a lot to spend.
Oh, that's not important.
I've been to meet his parents.
Well, have you?
Last Sunday. They live in Fife.
How'd you get on?
All right. They seem pleased. We don't have a lot in common, but that doesn't matter, does it?
Ah, well, so long as you and Alexander have, apart from sex.
You don't need to be nasty.
What's nasty about that? Just trying to be realistic.
You don't have to be so sensible.
What, you think I'm ruled by my head whilst you're ruled by your heart, eh? McKinley the cool-headed. New conception. Ah, McKinley the wary. Perhaps that's more like it.
Are you wary?
Afraid to give all. I don't know. I just think I want to hold on to me for a bit. You know, give myself time. Don't you feel you need time, Katrina? I mean, why all the rush?
Doesn't feel like a rush.
Oh, well.
Oh, don't go to sleep, Maggie, please. I don't feel like sleeping for hours.
Hours?
If you know your own
Oh,
mind,
can you ever?
then I think it's just wasting time. Alexandra and I would like to be together for 24 hours a day.
24 hours a day?
Wouldn't you like to be with
Not
James?
with anybody. In fact, as soon as someone starts looking at me as if they'd like to be with me 24 hours a day, I start to back off.
But why, if you like him?
I wouldn't be able to breathe.
The thing is to distribute over a much wider area. After all, you can't expect to get enough custom from just the square mile around you.
Suppose not.
Well, you are getting on.
Yes, we're not doing too badly.
Sure I can't help?
Two's all it takes. Besides, it'd be better if you got your physics done.
Almost have.
We'll have some coffee when you've finished.
I'll be quick then.
Don't skimp now.
That should be about enough.
We'll put them into pairs of 10, and then we'll be able to estimate better. How do you think your exams went then, Maggie?
Oh, not too bad considering. And there was quite a lot to consider.
Yes. You didn't have the ideal conditions to study under, did you?
Didn't matter too much. I'm used to that kind of life.
Not much privacy.
Find what I can.
Now, James and Katrina.
Ah, they've been lucky.
Not that it's done much for Katrina. She could have a whole house to herself.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about Mrs. Fraser. She might turn out to be a female Vidal so soon.
If it hadn't been for that Alexander.
Looks like we got about 1,000.
I think it's a great mistake to get married too young, don't you, Maggie?
Absolutely.
Or even to become too serious.
How do you mean serious?
Well, I think you and I know one another well enough to be able to talk frankly, don't you, Maggie?
Yes.
It's just that James has 6 years at university ahead, and then he might want to specialize. He's very interested in pediatrics, you know.
Yes, he told me.
So it might be 10 years before he could consider marriage.
Mrs. Fraser, I've told you before, I am not interested in marriage.
Oh, not now, maybe,
And
but...
as for 10 years' time, that can take care of itself.
Yes, but in between, I just think it might be unwise to get... well, to get too intense about one another.
Mrs. Fraser, I don't think you can expect me to make any promises to you.
Oh, I'm not expecting promises.
Good. For where feelings are concerned, intensity is quite unpredictable. Wouldn't you agree?
Got the kettle on, you two? Hey, what's up?
Nothing's up. We're merely discussing the distribution of plumbing leaflets, hence an air of solemnity. Shall I put the kettle on, Mrs. Fraser?
If you wouldn't mind, Maggie.
Hey, it's a glorious day, you know. You lot should be out in the fresh air.
I thought we could go for a walk in the Pentlands. We could take a picnic.
I can't.
Well, you and Maggie can come, surely, James.
Are we going to go and see a film this afternoon?
Katrina Fraser speaking.
We're going to see a film?
Yes, she's here. Maggie, it's for you.
Me?
Mum, can't we leave it till sort of a nicer day or something like that?
Oh, I think it's a lovely day to go out now.
Oh, it's you, Mum. There's nothing wrong, is there?
It's not too much to ask, is it?
No, just...
What do you mean you can't find the order book? It was in the drawer yesterday.
You always go off on your own.
Yeah, we like being alone.
Well, have you looked? Honestly, well, I couldn't have walked, could it?
June, after all, you've got the whole weekend to yourselves.
You've been printing leaflets all morning.
I think it's Highton Drive. Or Avenue. No, it's definitely Drive. And it's number 25. At least I'm pretty sure. Oh, good luck to Sandy.
Yes, Mother.
Right then, Mum. See you tomorrow night. Bye.
I just thought you'd enjoy it. Take the chair down to the room. You've got that marvellous view of Edinburgh.
Your family evidently relies on you very heavily, Maggie.
You better watch it, you'll never get out from under.
Dad's been called out in a job and Mum's in a state in case he doesn't get back in time for Sandy's match. I'm glad I'm not there.
What about this picnic, then?
Peter, come on, there's lots more to eat. Sugar, Maggie?
No thanks.
More cake?
No thanks, I'm fine.
Come on. We're going to scale the heights. Sorry about all this, Mother.
He's a very strong-minded lady. I know. Doesn't matter. Stop apologising for her. Yeah. Well, that's rotten. Never mind. You win a few and you lose a whole lot more. No, I wasn't suggesting you pass it on to Sandy. Aye, okay, Jane. Right, bye.
They lost, huh?
2-3. Sandy scored both goals. Glad I'm not in Glasgow tonight.
Yeah, so am I.
So the boots were in the cupboard after all.
So your brother really is keen on becoming a professional footballer?
Seems to be.
I wonder where Katrina's got to.
Oh, probably with Alexander.
Well, I wish she'd let me know what time she's coming in to tea.
I dare say they started. Sorry we're late. I brought Alexander home for tea, Mother.
Hello, Alexander. Come and take a seat.
Thanks.
Sit down.
Hiya.
Hi, Maggie.
Still warm out?
Pretty warm.
We've been to the Botanics.
Oh, was it crowded?
Could hardly move.
Tea?
I'm sorry.
Oh, no harm done.
Sandwich?
Thanks.
Did you go to the art gallery?
No.
Are you interested in painting?
Don't know, really. Never thought much about it.
Have a sausage roll. They're real mouth melters.
Thanks.
So, are you busy at work these days?
Run off her feet. Summer visitors, you know. Katrina will find it a real killer to begin with.
So it's your salon she's starting working. What's it called again?
Him and her.
Oh, yes. Her and him.
Can I have some more tea, please, Elizabeth?
And do you live in Edinburgh, Alexander?
I thought you were from Fife.
It'd be too far to travel every day. He's got a flat in town.
A flat? I see.
I think I might have some more, Elizabeth.
What time are you leaving, Maggie?
I'm getting the 9 o'clock train.
Oh, well, you've a while yet. James, come to your place next weekend?
I don't think so. He's got to get down to work, haven't you?
Very sensible of you both.
All paragons of virtue, that's us.
A piece of fruitcake, Alexander.
He doesn't like raisins.
Don't you? How odd.
Jam tart?
No, thanks.
Don't you like jam either?
Well, Father, you finished?
Yes,
Think we might take a walk in the garden. Leave these young folk alone, eh?
good idea.
Elizabeth?
She was horrible to you, Alexander. I could have...
She wasn't. I mean, not really. I didn't mind it.
But you don't know her. You don't know how cutting she was being underneath.
And you should have left it underneath Katrina.
You can't treat a friend of mine like that.
Like what? I was perfectly polite.
Oh, no, you weren't, and you know it. You're such a bloody hypocrite.
Don't swear at me, Katrina.
I feel like swearing. I feel like leaving home.
You wouldn't be able to live on your earnings as a hairdresser's apprentice.
Other girls do.
In digs.
I live in a garret.
Very romantic, but it's about time you had some common sense. Listen, dear, I don't want us to fall out, but do you really think this Alexander...
This Alexander, even the way you refer to him, you're a snob as well as a hypocrite and a bully.
I think you're going a bit too far now.
I could go a lot further.
I wouldn't if I were you. One usually regrets going over the top.
What do you know about going over the top? You've got your life so well regulated, running the way you want it to.
That's what one should aim for.
Regardless of what anyone else wants. Everyone has to jump for you. Dad, James, even Grandpa at times. Well, he just ignores you when he can't be bothered.
How dare you speak to me like that?
Because it's the truth, that's why.
Your version of it. If you were to ask your father or your...
He'd stand by you. Dad likes a peaceful life. When you're not looking, he sneaks up to the attic and reads thrillers.
Do you really think your friendship with Alexander is worth all this?
Breaking up the family peace, you mean? It's not Alexander that's doing it. It's you, because you won't accept him.
I don't see that I have to. I don't have to like all your friends, Katrina, any more than you have to like mine.
So you don't like him. You admit it, then?
If you want me to, no. I don't particularly like him.
Particularly? You might as well be completely honest.
All right, I don't like him then.
You've never given him a chance!
Does he matter that much to you?
Yes, he does.
Oh, you're only 17. You'll have dozens of other boyfriends.
I doubt
Of course you will. You should. You need to meet all sorts. So he's bought you a ring.
An engagement ring. We intend to get married, Mother.
Married? Oh, no, Katrina.
Talk about shattering the Sabbath peace.
I thought your mother would at least shut the window.
She doesn't care what the neighbours think. I'll say that for her. Do you think Katrina's really keen on Alexander, or is she just...
Doing it to needle your mother? I don't know. The thought had crossed my mind.
She has talked to you?
I doubt she knows herself. She believes she's in love. I hope she is, because I think she means to go through with it. Seems such a quiet district.
Yes, well, shall we go in? I'm glad your mother likes me. Makes life easier.
Yes.
And Mother likes you too, you know.
Up to point.
No, she really does.
So long as I don't constitute a threat, which I don't. Carrier bags. That's the answer. I may have arrived neat and tidy, but I shall return in my inevitable style, dropping piles of rubbish around me.
What did you mean about not constituting a threat?
Your mother's dead scared you might get married before you qualify.
Oh, she's been talking to you.
Oh, don't you go and attack her. She's had enough for one day. With Katrina throwing plates.
And you said you were no threat.
Well, I'm not, am I?
Depends what you mean by threat.
James, I've been thinking. I think, well, maybe we shouldn't see one another for, well, a month, maybe.
Oh, but why?
Come in.
I have to go out now, Maggie. I'm going to visit an old friend, so I thought I'd just come and say goodbye.
Oh, goodbye, Mr. Fraser, and thanks for all your help.
No, I couldn't do very much, I'm afraid. But if you should think of anything, please don't hesitate to ring me.
Thank you, I'll remember.
Of course, I hope your father won't have any need of legal advice.
So do I.
Well then, Goodbye, Maggie. Good luck.
Goodbye, Mr. Fraser, and thanks again.
I was beginning to think he was never going to go.
Well, he was only in a second. What a super old man he is. I really like him.
Oh,
you know, when
let's not talk about my grandfather.
I can talk about my granny for hours.
Am I disturbing you?
How are you feeling?
Oh, I've survived broken plates before. Poor Katrina. She's still a child in many ways.
And in others, not.
Maggie, this is a fruitcake for your mother. I just thought she and your Aunt Jessie might enjoy it with their morning coffee.
Oh, thanks very much.
Not at all. Have you room to get it in?
I'll watch you don't bump it.
I could give you a lift up to the station if you
You
like.
don't need one, Mother.
But she's got all this stuff, James.
I can carry it.
I'm sure we'll manage. Well, thanks anyway, Mrs. Fraser.
What time's your train?
9 o'clock.
It's 8:30 now. You'll have to be going soon.
You could always get the 9:30 or the 10 o'clock.
Oh, that'll make her awfully late into Glasgow, James, and then she's got to get
She's
home.
a big girl.
I better get the 9 o'clock. Dad said he'd meet me.
You could always phone.
You know what he's like. He doesn't like getting messed around.
Quite right, too.
Is that on the phone, Mother?
See you before you go, Maggie.
Maggie, I want an answer now. Before anyone else comes in.
It's just that, well, you've got your A levels, and I've got plumbing. Boy, have I got
We could have
plumbing.
one day at least together. I thought you enjoyed the weekend.
Oh, I did. Very much.
Well then.
James, let's just leave it, huh? Maybe we need a breather from one another. Just a short one.
Maggie, she knows the kings are friends. Maggie declines to dance. She won't work in a factory, though parents think she should. She's inclined academically, and so forth it's so. Maggie won't be a teenage bride. Maggie against the tide, she accepts the adversity. She always knew she could to attend university, and so forth it's so. Maggie, so far, so far, so good. Maggie, so far, so far, so good. Maggie.